There has been articles on that big time, especially in recent years. He just brought it out 2 years ago. As soon as he brought it out, the U.S. came down to try to stop China. They can't do it, it's too late. But they can still avoid a lot of sand. Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, all these countries that the U.S. bombed during the Vietnam War, they're all Asians. And all of these are old-eyed, slanted-eyed type Asians, not like India. See, India is bad right now with these laws and super anti-Muslim. Let them keep going, keep on going on for it. No problem. No problem, we'll just suffer through you for a while. But when we look up, Modi and all those people, they'll be in the dustbin of history, because this next period is not just that person getting by. Okay, the other thing, India and China, they had a war in '62. Of course, the Chinese won. They're competitors. Chinese still have a little birth control. India has no birth control. So China will probably stay out in front of India. But this is a guarantee. See, Chinese technology is still superior to Indian technology. Okay, emphasis. We'll have some other lectures later on in the series. Stalingrad to Oakland, that's dealing with Russia. China and the world package, we have to package our stuff so that it's digestible. Okay. All this stuff, CARE won't do it. What is that Muslim organization, legal organization, where Mix is?
Oh, yeah, the MLFA, Muslim Legal Fund.
They're not into none of this stuff. They're not into none of this stuff. So, we're not stuck in one place. Our allies are basically global. Oh, there's other 2 points. Since we mentioned Muslims, the Indonesian economy and the Malaysian economy is controlled by Chinese. Chinese from China. Okay. They even have, what's the stuff we have here when you need help going to college or university or something? And Baki was against that, what is it, this little simple stuff.
Scholarships?
No, when they want to put a certain amount of us into school. Affirmative action, that's it, that's affirmative action. Okay. The reason you don't see no Chinese students over here is because they have affirmative action in Malaysia for Malaysians. Because the Chinese control, okay, now this is an opportunity for China to smooth everything with Malaysia and Indonesia right next door. 200 million Muslims in Indonesia and another 175, 80 in Malaysia. They're both part of the Tiny Tiger network. Remember when they started coming up in the late 90s, that all of a sudden they was crushed? That's what the U.S. did to them. Remember Mutahir? He's been anti-Zionist, and let's call him anti-American. Everything is so China, hook up with them also. But they're big, independent type countries, but befriend them. Maybe a little help here and there, you need maybe a little help there. And all of them have been frightened by the Salafi movement. Indonesia's really on the roll because they make it look serious. They train a few bums to make life miserable for other Muslims. For us, that's technically good because we don't have to convince them, either Malaysia or Indonesia. We have some friends in PAS. PAS, all those groups are like, in the old days, Anwar Ibrahim, head of the student movement and all that. That stuff, we've been working with Muslims since 1980 and all of that. So anyway, yep, so we got a lot of friends. We're just gonna start using friends. We're off the front line here, and we're going to the top. We go around Boss Man. If we get 1 or 2 bites, that's sufficient. Don't make no difference. Okay. It's the opposition from West America. No long-range planning. That deals with the Communist Party and the Democrats and Republicans. China can think way ahead. Then it can get the people with it. It can smooth out things. And when they come in front of you, they all headed in the same direction. You can't do that. Imagine Democrats and Republicans. Are they more American or are they more Democrats and Republicans? Democrats and Republicans. They don't care nothing about the other party. We hate you. Right? It's insanity. They can't produce anything because they gotta fight each other. That's now in their genes. It's part of their genetic makeup. The Communist Party have all their tussles inside. And they really have real discussions. And the people present papers on research, because communists still have a saying, no investigation, no right to speak. In other words, you feel you can't come in with a stack of hopes and dreams. You have to research that subject. That's why they say, it's a real saying, the communists been at it. No investigation, no right to speak. You can't present nothing in here if you haven't investigated it. So you can present us with a clear proposal that we can get our teeth into. Okay. So America can't have long-range planning. Can American factories or anything else, businesses, have long-range planning? Can American politicians rebuild or expand bridges and highways? No, they can't. Why? Because a senator so-and-so passed a bill to rebuild these highways and everything, right? They're all needed, but he'll be gone. He won't get credit for that because the people that enjoy it won't be there. You see what I mean? They won't be voting. They can't make. If you have an investment in an American company, you want, they're always talking about first quarter and this, that, and another. They don't want no, you can't, America, see, when the decline kicks in, all of your institutions demand that you fall. They demand it. That they cannot do, they can't move forward. Because investment in America is usually short run, not long run. And if you want to, it's by the quarter. So why? If it's all instant money, therefore, you can't invest money back into your company. If you're a big company and you buy up 2 or 3 more companies, you got to fire these people. Why? Because you got to get rid of this crew, that crew, and consolidate it, suck all the money out of it, and maybe sell it to some other, whatever's left, to some other dummy. But you got to get your investors big money back fast. That's why they can't think long range and they can't work long range. They can't do it. And they can't harmonize. You don't have to do nothing to them. They go on themselves. We don't have to do nothing to boss man. And we're tired of telling boss man, we want to help you because we know you're in a spot. Well, stay in a spot. You know, if you just got to be in a spot, go ahead. Okay, multiculturalism is good. It's not good for everybody to be, except in some cases. Years ago, it was hardly no immigration and nothing in Japan. So it's like that. It's just Japanese here, right? But when you're just one, you can make big mistakes because you see things so similar. You know what I mean? That you can miss obvious things. When nobody is there to say, well, I heard about this over and such and such. They do this and they do that. How does that look here? You don't have none of that. You see? It's not good for China to be all Han Chinese. That's what they want. India wants everybody to be Hindus. So they're passing all these nice laws. Can you imagine the Hindu students are having demonstration against that dumb policy along with the Muslims? Yeah. They held hands across one whole state the other day. Okay, stop it. CARE won't do it. The other groups and organizations won't do it. So we have to do it. This first talk was a message to China. Later on, we'll have a message to Russia, evolution of Islamic movement in America. We have to now tell people what we have been going through in America. Even they can learn lessons. You know, like we studied all the revolutionaries, and we learned some things from them. Okay, now we become experts on these subjects from studying and from implementing or attempted to. So we've got pretty sharp on this stuff, sharper than a lot of people. Evolution of Islamic movement. I'll save this other stuff for later. But in America today, is mass confusion. Turn on the TV. Look at Don's eyes. You see the big puffs on his eyes? Boy, Don, they can say he ain't worried. Boy, this boy's worried. Confusion, delusion. Chaos. I mean, hey, sometimes we be thinking, man, we don't have to do nothing. He taking all the fun, all the work that we was going to do. Shoot. That's why I just stayed here in D.C. I've been here, because I said, they didn't do that. They unified all the Muslims, all the good Muslims, or potential good Muslims, and they set the bombs of Saudi Arabia, a few Gulf states, making friends with Israel. We used to have to tell everybody all the time, man, them bombs, man, no. Now, we don't have to tell them nothing. They stabbing the Palestinians in the back. And no matter what we say about Palestinians, those people got a resistance. Can you imagine every screw you can turn on, cutting off their water, electricity? They can't rebuild their homes. They won't let concrete. It's so much stuff they do to them. And they're rolling right along. They can't raise hardly any crops because the Zionists steal all the water. but they got resilience. Okay? This reminds us that, you know, in the Bible it says Babylon the Great has fallen. And then it lists all the things that happened to it. And it says in one day, Babylon the Great has fallen. Well, we know that don't mean no one physical day. But look how fast these things are happening. It just, okay. Embassy package. One of the last things I want to remind us of, in 1985, the Muslim youth, the Arab youth, they had a program in Dallas, I think. And the Japanese Shia Imam was there. And if you ever want to talk with the head of Toyota and them, you just listen to him. Yes, we're going to have 10,000 Muslims by da-da-da-da-da, and I said, good God Almighty, this is a serious business. I mean, he's talking about it just like a projection in business. That's the way they made. Dawah, yes, we're going to have Dawah. We have such and such a Dawah. I was sitting there and listening to him. I got friends with him. I said, and I was just joking. I said, we're going to call you Mr. Toyota or something, man, because you know. And then he thought, oh, I must sound mechanistic or, you know, something. I said, yes, sir. I mean, it ain't bad, it's very good. But you have a Japanese discipline to this stuff. You know, you already added it up and you headed on out the door with it. It was one of the most, I haven't seen the brother in, I don't know, it's over 30 years old. 19, what did I say, 85? Yeah, it's been a long time. That's 35 years ago. Good God Almighty. But that's the way they come at it. So we need more Japanese Muslims. Because they'll bring that Aikido or whatever they want to call it into it. You know what I mean? The Japanese heart and the Chinese Korean kind of soft and floaty, you know. What is it, Wing Chun and all them things, I think, yeah. So, I'll close with this. We're not at all, boss man don't have no right or the ability to lock us up in this masjid. He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it in Oakland. We're a worldwide movement, and all we're doing is we're gonna stay that way. You can't lock us up in a masjid and think, you know, that's what we're gonna do what you want us to do. Sit there and argue with people about this, that, and we're not gonna do that. Okay, are there any questions or any comments at all? But we're gonna be doing a lot of this. We're gonna be doing lectures on different subjects, and we're going to, inshallah, we're going to pass out these lectures also. Yeah. Okay, any more questions or comments? Nothing at all? All right, alhamdulillah. Someone got a little more.